He went to centre half forward. Oh! Filer puts the afterburners on, steps around from about 45. Stop it! And he's kicked it, has he? Yes, he has!
Welcome to the Bendigo Football Netball League Grand Final Preview edition of AFL Central Victoria TV. On this edition, we'll have a change of costume and head to the Mickelson Medal and catch up with winner Tim Martin from the Sandhurst Football Club. Also, we'll preview a big A-grade netball grand final with Kangaroo Flat coach Janelle Hobbs and also co-coach from the Gisborne Football Netball Club in Sandra Stewart. But our first 2 points of order will be to check in at Golden Square and Strathfield Say Storm and talk with their coaches and captains ahead of a big grand final day this Saturday at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Our first guest on AFL Central Victoria TV is Rick Ladson, coach of the Golden Square Footy Club, into their 6th straight grand final and Rick's first as senior coach. Congratulations, Rick.
Thanks, mate.
A great achievement. As I said, it's your first season as senior coach. Came through a successful coaching structure and environment, winning a premiership at Hawthorn, and then spent some time at Essendon as an assistant coach as well. What sort of beliefs have you taken away from those two AFL clubs?
Oh, there's a fair few, mate. Like obviously, what Clarko instilled to what become a pretty successful group. I've tried to rub off a bit of that on our boys here at Square and learn a fair bit under Hurdy at Essendon and Bomber Thompson and especially Sean Wellman. So there's little aspects, mate, that you bring from things you learn, but also you've got to try and make a career path of your own coaching career as well. But the best thing that I've walked into here is a great culture and a great bunch of guys that are willing to learn. So it's been a very good transition and an easy one.
You mentioned coaching career was a club in your own right, the next step, logically?
Look, at the time I was pretty keen to just settle down in Melbourne and continue down that development role. But when I come back here, it was pretty much just a play, and then got talking and then I thought I'll have a crack at coaching and playing, which has been tough, but it's been a great experience, and I've learnt so much from this year. So I'll be better down the track with that.
The club's personnel, particularly up forward during the year, seemed a bit of a juggling act until the return of, James Bristow to the club and Matt O'Toole from injury.
Yeah, definitely, mate. You're battling if Rick Ladson's leading the goal kicking at some point in time. So, look, it was great that Big Bristow wanted to return, and he was not so much unhappy. He just wasn't enjoying his footy to the extent that he'd like to, and wanted to come back. So once I got that phone call, I was fairly happy, as you could imagine. So to have him the second half of the year, and obviously then to get Tooley back on the track, it's been good to have them two, and obviously Nick Carter down forward as well.
It's not a bad place to be, manager. I didn't want to leave after 20 minutes, so I can't imagine it'd be too difficult a task to want to stay there. So it's certainly a good get. Now, despite the reign for the Bulldogs over the last few years, it hasn't always been the same crew every grand finals. I think there's something like 4 players left that would be looking to have featured in all 5 successes should you win on Saturday. Does that help drive the hunger amongst the playing group?
Yeah, I think it does, mate. Like the culture of this group, they never get ahead of themselves, and they're just up for any challenge. And each year, I think you'll find that between 4 to 7 players leave that are premiership players, and then the next year they've been lucky enough to those spots be filled with some of our younger guys coming through. And the drive to be a part of a successful team is something that really drives these young guys in our group, and even the senior guys. That they don't want that to end, and they don't take it for granted. As we won't this week. We know we're up against a quality opposition, and anything can happen grand final day, and that's the attitude we're taking into it. We've just got to give it everything and see what happens.
You've achieved the highest team honour with a number 4 on your back at Hawthorn. What would it mean to do the same with a number 4 on your back at Golden Square? Yeah,
I've had this conversation a couple of times this week, and it means a fair bit, mate. Coming back home, and family and friends are around the whole time, and have been a part of this coaching and playing journey just this year, and to return to a club that I've loved since junior days, and to win one with Simon would be pretty special. We've been through a fair bit as close mates, so a fair bit at stake, and a bit nervous about it all, but there's a lot of work to be done, and it'd be great come the end of Saturday to be the side that's in front.
Where are the Dogs going to win it on Saturday?
If we can win the contested ball and for 4 quarters consistently, I think we'll be in a good position to win the game. But we've got to make sure that we take our opportunities going forward. And yeah, you never underestimate Strathfield. So they're a fantastic side. They've shown that all year, and they've got a lot of A-grade players through the midfield and a guy off half back that really sets them up. So they're forward line and Sharp and Mildren, very, very good players. So look, it's going to be a great battle. But I think if we can just get our contested ball right, I think we'll be okay.
Thanks for your time on AFL Central Victoria TV. Rick, best of luck for Saturday.
No worries. Thanks, mate.
Rick Ladson, coach of the Golden Square Football Club. Our next guest on AFL Central Victoria TV is the captain of the Golden Square Football Club. The team's into their 6th grand final, obviously, and Simon's playing in his 4th. Congratulations on your year personally, Simon.
Yeah, thanks, Trav. It's been a long year, but something we've looked forward to. Hopefully, giving ourselves another chance to play finals, which we did, and to get an opportunity, another grand final win is just an amazing effort by the football club. And personally, I'm wrapped in the guys. It's a huge effort, as I've said, and to be part of the last 3 has been an enormous feat for myself, and just very honoured because it doesn't come around very often.
Absolutely. Now, with 6 in a row for the club, a massive amount of grand final experience against a side that boasts a little bit of it with players from other clubs, but on the day, that might prove invaluable.
Yeah, look, we think it holds us in good stead. We've got a few guys that have been there before, but in saying that, compared to last year and previous years, we have had a big turnover, so we're just looking to put our best foot forward on Saturday, and we think the side that we select is good enough to win the game if everyone plays their role.
Now, for yourself on grand final day, will your instruction be any different than it would be before you were rousing the troops before a home and away game?
Look, I don't think so. We've got a pretty professional group that prepares well week in, week out, whether it's home and away game or a final. So, just trying to play the best footy I can for the team and hopefully contribute to the other 21 guys.
Now, you've seen the Storm 3 times this year. Who would you expect will come to you on grand final day?
Yeah, not 100% sure yet, but they're a quality side. They've got 22 guys that contribute in their side every week, and they've shown all year that they've been the form side of the competition. And we're just going to go out there and respect them. And if someone does happen to come to me on game day, just respect them and try and do my best for the side.
Sure. Now you're able to pick up something like a 5-goal deficit during the second semi-final. That must give you a bit of confidence and a few ideas of how to unpick Strathfield Say Storm should you get behind on grand final day.
I think definitely, it's something that we would have learnt from, and I'm sure Strathfield Say have learnt from also. So, we've just got to go out there and have some good plans moving forward for the game. And games go up and down. I think both sides are very even, and we've just got to be up to the challenge for whatever they throw at us. But more importantly, play our brand of footy, and we think they will hold us in good stead if we can play our brand of footy.
Best of luck, Simon Rosa, and let's see if we can get another Golden Square premiership on Saturday afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
Captain of the Golden Square Footy Club, Simon Rosa. Our next guest on AFL Central Victoria is the co-coach of the Strathfield Say Storm, Daryl Wilson. Congratulations on making the grand final, Daryl.
Thanks, Trav.
It seems probably pretty easy to talk about the Strathfield Say Storm being the youngest club in the league, but what's been apparent to me, I guess, is the tangible improvement that the club's made each year in the Bendigo Footy League, from making finals and winning finals last year and a preliminary final into a grand final.
Yeah, look, it has been a progress, and each year we've won more games as a club and sustained a better effort on the field, been more competitive, and last year's experience in final was very, very valuable, and to finish on top this year give us an opportunity to have a double tilt at it, and it's been good.
5 years and good vindication for the bold decision back then to start off in a major league, not head out to the Heathcote League or somewhere like that for the hard-working committee and volunteers?
Well, it was a bold decision. I was probably one of the ones who was a doubter about it. Now being in the club, I think it's been a great decision and a decision that's vindicated, obviously, with this week's performance or the last week's performance to get into grand final, and hopefully it can do well for those who have took that bold decision to play in the big league.
Now, on the field, away from the volunteers and everyone hard working around the club, Golden Square were able to, of course, win the second semi-final against you at the QEO a fortnight ago. How valuable a lesson was that for yourself and for the squad?
It was a great lesson for us that good sides don't give up and they come home very well. I thought our usage of the ball was poor, but we allowed Golden Square back into the game, and once they got their tails up, they weren't able to stop them. But, having said that, I think we learn a lot from the stoppages and how great their players are in the midfield. So, we've learned some good lessons there, and hopefully you can match up a little bit better and hope that after training for the last couple of weeks and last week's game, our disposal's a lot better.
Now, the healthier list, how many players we have to pick from? What sort of size of a squad have you got?
Well, at the moment, we've got about 30 players. We've kept that 30 players either training or being involved in match day, and they've been terrific. We've got Cal Smith missed last week with a slight hamstring. He'll be tested along with Shannon Geary, who has a sciatic issue, and they'll both be tested on Thursday night and won't play unless they're 100%.
Now, last one, it is grand final week. Are you a business as usual kind of guy, or do you employ your squad to embrace the situation they find themselves in?
I suppose it's a bit of both, but I probably tip towards just being the norm. I don't like players to play the game out before they get there and have too much excitement. Having said that, it's pretty hard to hold blokes back when they know that the grand final's there and it's something new. But look, there has been a few of the players that have been in finals before, Trav, so hopefully that goes in good stead and they can relax and, we can just get through the week and get to the game and play it as a normal game.
Best of luck for Saturday.
Thanks, boys.
On AFL Central Victoria, it's the co-coach of the Strathfield Say Storm, Darryl Wilson. Our last guest on AFL Central Victoria TV will be the captain of the Strathfield Say Storm, Shannon Geary. Congratulations on making the grand final, Shannon.
Thanks, Trev.
Be your first senior grand final too?
Yeah, definitely. We haven't played grand final since I was in juniors.
Exciting times. Looking forward to it?
Very, very. So it's pretty buzz around the footy club. So hopefully we can take away obviously the premiership.
Now, you got out to some handy leads, particularly again during the finals game against Golden Square. Had them pegged back, got out to about 3-2 against Eagle Hawk, and they got back in front. Is that something you've had a look at and worked on this week?
Oh, it's probably not more of the margin, but probably more of the point of how we played in that final. We probably lapsed for 10 to 15 minutes, and it wasn't more of the goal scored or what we did. It's just how we played basically.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you lost to Square in the second semi-final. Now, what can you take out of that, having played that game at the QEO as well? Same ground on Saturday, obviously, and pretty much the same side as well, you'd expect.
Yeah, well, I'd say they'd be pretty much exactly the same sides for both teams. Obviously, we can take out the fact that I guess how poorly we played in the third and fourth quarter of the Square game, and again we can take into the game how we played against Eagle Hawk in the last game. So finals is going to obviously ramp up as we get into a grand final, but you take the good with the bad, and you look at what you've done wrong and look at what you've done well.
Now, of course, apart from your good self, with a couple of players watching on, who's important for the Storm on Saturday if you're to win the first premiership for the Storm?
Oh, I don't think it's one player. I think it's 22. You've got to really have 22 contributors out there, and if you don't have the 22 contributors, it doesn't make a difference who's going to be best on, as long as you have 22 beat their own opponents, and I think that will be the key going in. I don't think it's one player. I think it's going to be the 22 players that'll step out there.
Best of luck for Saturday.
Thanks, Trev.
Captain of the Strathfield Say Storm, Shannon Geary, on AFL Central Victoria TV. On AFL Central Victoria TV, we're at the Mickelson Medal catching up with the coaches of Saturday's netball grand final in the Bendigo Football Netball League series. On my right, a co-coach from the Gisborne Netball Club is Sandra Stewart, and to my left is Janelle Hobbs from Kangaroo Flat. We'll start with Sandra. Gisborne dropping just one game for the season. Sandra, a stellar season by your girls.
They've had a fabulous season actually, and they've really enjoyed playing together, and they're just really looking forward to next week's final.
Now, a week off obviously with the season you've had. How did your girls spend that? Did you train or have a little hit out?
Yeah, we did. I mean, having a week off is nice in the fact that you don't have to come out and play that hard game again, but it's also really difficult in that you want to keep your focus. So because we're down in Gisborne, we're not that close to all the Bendigo teams. We've actually had a couple of practice matches against teams from the RDFL and the Ballarat League as well. So that's been really good for us during our week off.
Very handy. Now, how do you see the Gisborne side winning on Saturday? What are your strengths? How are your girls going to get it done on the court?
Well, I think major focus and concentration for a start. I think one of the strengths of the Gisborne team this year is that it is a complete team effort. We've got 9 girls there, and everybody is really strong, and they play their own position and do their own job. And I think you probably saw some of that today in the Mickelson medal count, where we were lucky that Tiana won it, but we also, every other player who's played throughout the whole season polled quite a few votes. Wow. So I think when I say the strength is in the team, it really that really is the way that the girls have been winning.
Exemplified it right there, doesn't it, with the count going the way it did. Last question for you, your prime mover, keys to the game. How are you going to go about it, and who from Janelle's side do you need to stop?
Well, it's a tough question because one of the major things that we noticed when we watched the game last night against Flat and Sandhurst was that the way that the Kangaroo Flat girls came back in the last quarter when they were down. So we know that we're going to have to fight right to the last whistle if we want to win it. I think Rachel McKenzie, the young goal attack, is a great player and really good shooter. We know the defensive circle is really strong as well. So I don't know, those are probably some that we'll focus on, but I think we need to be really mindful of moving the ball through court really strongly, and all the girls are very aware of the fact that this is the first time Gisborne has ever been in an A-grade netball final in the 13 years it's been in the Bendigo Football Netball League, so they really want to win this.
It's been a good day for them. As Sandra said, Tiana Newman won the Betty Thompson medal earlier this afternoon here at the All Seasons Resort in McIver Road, Bendigo, and they're on the cusp of perhaps their first premiership win on Saturday afternoon. Best of luck to you, Sandra.
Thank you very much.
Also, from the Kangaroo Flat Football Netball Club, their coach Janelle Hobbs joins me. Preliminary final winners last night against Sandhurst. Tell me a bit about that. How did it go?
It was a very tough game. We're actually down by a lot, and we come out in that last quarter and I think we outscored them by about 13, 14 goals, and we come away with the win. So it was a tough physical game, but as I kept saying to the girls, never give in. It's a final. Just keep putting the pressure on and you never know what will happen, and it turned our way. We got the momentum and we come away 2-goal winners. So it was great. The girls are very excited to get the win.
Is that a pattern for you guys? Do you get back and run on, or is that just something you had to deal with on the night?
No, look, they never give up, the girls, and they're a very tight-knit unit, like Gisborne as well. So, that confidence in each other, I think, is what got them through. They just keep working hard. We don't like to get down. We did get off to a slow start. I don't know why. It was just one of those things. They jumped us. So for the girls not to put their head down, just to keep fighting, was excellent. Really great effort. So.
Now, the prime movers for Kangaroo Flat on Saturday afternoon. Who's going to be most important if the Flat are to win the premiership?
Yeah, I think, well, the whole 9 of us are obviously important. They all know their roles that they've got to perform. I'll sit down tonight when I get home and really go through the Gisborne side, and I think Rachel McKenzie, as Sandra said, has had an outstanding final series in goal attack. Once we get the ball into her, she's very accurate. So she'll be important. And our defensive trio, Simone Butler, Alicia McGlashan and Bridget Chambers, are also very strong. So we'll be looking at contribution right across the board, though.
As Sandra said, Gisborne are a very even side as well. Who are the keys you think you might have to stop in the red, white and blue on Saturday?
Yeah, they're tough. Look, they're strong in every position. I've coached a few of those girls in Interleague this year, so I know them quite well. Their speed, I think. Their speed's probably one of their main, positives. So we'll be looking at applying full court pressure and trying to slow them down a bit, maybe delay into their goal circle. Their shooters are extremely accurate as well. So I think it'll just come down to, whoever keeps possession and makes the least errors. So it'll be a real pressure game.
Promises to be a fascinating grand final on Saturday between Gisborne and, of course, Kangaroo Flat. We thank Sandra Stewart from the Gisborne Football Netball Club and Janelle Hobbs from Kangaroo Flat Football Netball Club for their time, and wish them both luck on Saturday. On AFL Central Victoria, we're at the Mickelson Medal for 2013. Alongside me, the man that took out the award tonight from the Sandhurst Football Club, Tim Martin. Congratulations, Tim.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
A great award. You're a product, as we heard in your acceptance speech, of the Sandhurst Footy Club, back to the club since 2007. A great year, and well done.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, cheers. It's been an enjoyable year, so it's good to come away with something at the end of it, I suppose. Yeah.
Bit disappointing, obviously, the finals campaign after scraping in at the death. Such was the season that was in 2013. Gisborne got you in the first week, and it was over as quickly as it looked pretty promising.
Yeah, that's right. I suppose it was such an even year in the BFL this year. That that 2-point game against Strathfield, say 2 weeks ago, was the difference. 2 weeks before the finals was the difference between finishing second and fourth. That was the nature of the competition this year, and we didn't turn up on the day against Gisborne. And despite having a pretty promising list, we couldn't come away with any jockeys. So a bit disappointing from a team perspective.
Sorry about that. League awards seem to be midfielders' awards, don't they? And I made mention earlier on this afternoon that perhaps a ruckman and yourself, or even Justin Madden from South Bendigo, could possibly take the award home. You're the first ruckman to win since 1977.
Yeah, so they tell me. Graham Clark or someone from Kyneton. So a little bit of interesting trivia, but I suppose that the way ruckmen are nowadays, you got to play like a midfielder if you if you want to earn your keep. So I guess that's what I try and do with myself. So yeah.
A very interesting double too. Your girlfriend, who's just out of shot too, won the Red Carpet Award as well. So not a bad double. Red Carpet Mickelson medal.
Yeah, good day for us, I suppose. We got a free ticket through Kate's boss at work, so we haven't paid for a ticket, and Kate's come away with a $100 voucher to the Styling Bird and got myself a little bit of a medal. So yeah, pretty successful day for us, I suppose. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, before I let you go and join your teammates for a little bit of frivolity, who's going to win the 2013 Bendigo Football League Grand Final?
Look, like I said before, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. They're two sides who've been pretty evenly matched throughout the year. I think Strath have taken the chockies both times during the home and away season, but Square got over them in that qualifying final. So I think with Bristow and Tooley back in the side for Square and their midfield depth and their wealth of grand final experience, I think Square might just get over the line, but Strath could easily get it done too. They've got a quality list, so it could go either way.
We're very lucky. Promises to be a fantastic AFL Grand Final. From the Mickelson Medal for 2013 at the Conservatory at the All Seasons Resort in Mackay Road, Bendigo, Trav Fitzgibbon with the winner from the Sandhurst Football Netball Club, Tim Martin. That's all we have time for on AFL Central Victoria TV for this edition. Congratulations to all the winners on Mickelson Medal Day on Sunday. Tim Martin from the Sandhurst Football Club and Tiana Newman from the Gisborne Football Netball Club, who grabbed her second Betty Thompson medal. Lots to see and do this Saturday at the QEO for the Bendigo Football Netball League Grand Final Day. 5 netball grand finals and 3 footy grand finals getting underway from 9 a.m. Plenty of halftime action as well. A bit of entertainment to be had there, and a grand final breakfast featuring Andrew Buse, former star from the Geelong and Brisbane football clubs. $15 gets you in the gate, $12 pensioners, 12 to 18-year-olds it'll cost you $2, and kids under 12 get in for free. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at AFL Central Victoria, and remember, on the court and on the field this weekend, play fair, have fun, and good luck. There's silverware to be had.